Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. In yesterday's episode, we featured a really cool team revolving around Blastoise, Gmax, Coalossal, and Hatterene, and we're going to play a couple more games with it. So, hope you guys enjoy it. As always, if you do, please show your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. And feel free to try out this team yourself. It is a rental team, and the code is in the description below. Thank you once again to the creator for showing me the team. It's a really, really fun team, and hopefully I can do it a little bit more justice. I feel like I didn't play very well with it yesterday, but let's see what we can pull off in today's episode. This actually feels like a really good game for Blastoise Coalossal. My opponent doesn't have Tailwind, which is good, so Coalossal should just outspeed pretty much everything. It even has a chance to knock out the Lapras, which is pretty sick. Trying to think what the other approach I'd go with here is. I think like Raichu also isn't bad because I can nuzzle things, namely the Dragapult and the Lucario. There's a lot of beat-up shenanigans potentially here from the Dragapult into Lucario or the Mimikyu into Lucario. Passimian's actually an interesting answer here too. We could also honestly just go like Pelipper Blastoise and just like Water Spout Tailwind. It's actually kind of compelling. Yeah, that way we don't necessarily Gmax immediately, which I kind of like. And for the last one, I actually think Passimian's not bad here. I mean, there's Incineroar, so by having Passimian, it punishes Incineroar more. It also has pretty good coverage, and I can use Feint as well. So, yeah. You know, with so many new Gmax Pokemon now being allowed, my question of the day to you guys is, what is your favorite Gmax Pokemon? I think Lapras is definitely an early contender for me, but Charizard was obviously really, really fun to use. I like Sandaconda and Centiskorch as well on that Parastrap team that we tried out. Definitely a lot of cool options. I think it's going to be Mimikyu and Lapras. Okay. Coalossal and Blastoise probably would have worked out a little bit better here for us. We might want to Dynamax Passimian, honestly. There's just a bunch of different plays we could even Dynamax Blastoise just to max Geyser, but I don't like that too much. Worried about Trick Room. I mean, we could just Hurricane Mimikyu and Water Spout. How likely do I think it's Trick Room? Not very likely. I don't mind Hurricane Water Spout turn 1, honestly. Yeah. I mean, Hurricane will break the disguise. We have a Confusion chance as well. I think Lapras is probably going to be Gmax in here, which is fine by me, because Passimian, I think, has a pretty good matchup against that. Yeah, the tricky thing, I mean, if we went with Coalossal and Blastoise, we could have just gone for Aqua Jet, Gmax, Rock into Lapras immediately, and that actually has a chance of one-hit KOing, so that would have ended up being the play, but I didn't know how great I felt about that as a lead. I guess the more I think about it, though, the more unlikely it is that my opponent leads with Incineroar, which is the one thing that really stops that. And the reason you wouldn't lead with Incineroar is because of the Passimian that I have in the back. So we'll see what the Mimikyu decides to go for. It looks like it might have actually been Trick Rooming. We also confirmed it's Water Absorb Lapras, so we can paralyze, or sorry, get crits against that. Okay, so I'm thinking Mimikyu is probably going for Trick Room there then, since Blastoise doesn't have that much speed investment. It actually helps for Max Lightning, which is a good play. And of course that is going to get the one-hit KO onto us. Okay. But by going for Max Lightning, that does mean that you do not set up the screens. So I kind of just want to go out into Coalossal, Aqua Jet myself, and Rock into Lapras. I think that's what we're going for. Lucario comes out, which is kind of a threat, but not that scary. Yeah, I mean, we also could Dynamax and Protect this turn and Water Spout to KO Lucario. That also burns another turn of Dynamax from Lapras' end. I actually kind of like that play, because I think you definitely target Coalossal here. So I think I'm going to Dynamax Max Guard and Water Spout, which should knock out Lucario unless it's Focus Sash, which it could be. But by doing this, it burns another... I also don't know my calc against Lapras, so I actually think maybe Flash Cannoning there is better, just so... Because I think after Flash Cannon, Aqua Jet plus the Gmax Rock KOs Lapras. Whereas Lucario, I don't think is as big of a threat to us right now. But I think Passimian should win against the Lapras in this late game as well. I guess you could very easily max Lightning Blastoise, and my opponent just revealed that, so yeah. Maybe that was a little too greedy. The close combat does go into Coalossal, so I'm hoping it's also a water type attack. Looks like it is sashed on Lucario. Yep, so that's not surprising. Okay, just go for the G-Max Resonance. Nice play. Into Blastoise. This is, however, where we actually can make a pretty cool play of max flaring. Yeah, we can Aqua Jet ourselves and max flare. And hopefully survive an attack from the Lapras, yeah. Yeah, so we'll max flare, Aqua Jet. This is Aqua Jet in rain though, so I don't know, this is gonna do a ton of damage. But I think with Flare we should survive. So we get Coalossal Steam Engine going. I'm guessing it's just a typical weakness policy Lapras set. So we'll probably just go for Max Geyser into our Coalossal, but with Flare being up, I think we should survive, and then the next turn we can go for our Max Rock. But I think we maybe could have just gone for the... I mean, the problem I was worried about was if we don't get the KO onto Lapras, but my opponent made a really nice read and went for the Resonance. Yep, there's Max Geyser. Okay, let's see if we survive this in Sun. Okay, nice. Good. That's Dynamax over now from Lapras' end, so we'll be able to go for Colossal's G-Max attack. And Blastoise is also healing back continuously, which is nice. We've also got Passimian for the late game against Lapras, so a big question I have right now is what is my opponent's last Pokemon? Can it beat Blastoise, Passimian, and Coalossal? Sylveon, which I think is actually pretty good to see. Especially because we do have Flash Cannon on the Blastoise as well. So here I'm definitely going for... That's actually my first time even seeing the name after yesterday's episode. Vocalith? So we're definitely going for that. The question is who, because I could see Sylveon protecting, or sorry, Lapras protecting. But I think targeting Lapras here is still fine. Yeah, I'm just going to target Lapras and go for a Flash Cannon. We've got Flash Cannon, so that probably... I mean, it's definitely a 3 at KO. And no Protect from Lapras, so I think this should seal up the game. Nice. Late game Coalossal was huge. Yeah, it just gets the knockout even through the Aurora Veil. Perfect. So, yeah, even though kind of wasted that turn of Max Guard, I mean, it wasn't necessarily a waste because you saw if we take a close combat there, then that's just so much damage. So that's why it gets the Flash Cannon off. That's actually really tanky, but I guess it does, of course, have the Hyper Voice. Does not manage to KO us. It does have the screens up, so yeah. Rain Dish Blastoise is also really sick. Like, you know, healing back every turn and being able to potentially do more damage from Water Spout's really cool. So, yeah, Coalossal was really good in this matchup. Like, it looked good on paper right from the beginning. And I think actually leading with it might have just worked out even better. But I don't know the calc of what our max attack into... And even though Rain is up, I think just Flare Blitz here is safe. Yeah, I don't know what the calc is there into the Lapras. So, I mean, if it does get the one-hit KO onto Lapras, like, then I think it's worth going for. But I think it's a roll, especially if it's like, you know, a lot of Laprases are pretty bulky. Like, the one I was running was definitely max HP, and other people run, you know, a fair amount of investment in maybe defenses as well. But, yeah, ultimately, like, Lucario came out, but didn't really do very much, fortunately. Blastoise actually did so much, right? It got a knockout onto the Mimikyu, also effectively almost KO'd the Lucario as well. And, yeah, the Aqua Jet combo allowing us to just sweep through with Coalossal in the late game was super sick. So, yeah, very happy about how that played out. This looks like another potential Coalossal game, but I do have to watch out for, obviously, Rotom and the Braviary. Sorry, not Braviary, Excadrill. I was thinking of Excadrill, but then my eyes go down to Braviary in the back there. Rotom does really concern me, actually. Like, I think our best Rotom answers are probably Passimian. Or I guess, I mean, Coalossal can max Rockfall it. But I do think Rotom has a pretty solid matchup against this team. So, yeah, bulky waters, I think, as we saw in yesterday's episode, can definitely cause some problems. Not the biggest fan of Hatterene here, mainly because of Excadrill. I don't know, double confusion here is actually kind of cool though, but Excadrill is such a big threat. I feel like you don't lead Scrafty, right, when I have Passimian. I guess you could go Scrafty Braviary, but I kind of want to go Pelipper Blastoise like I did that last game, because if you don't threaten me with Fake Out, then I can just Tailwind Water Spout, and because I'm Choice Scarf, like, I'll pretty much go first, and because of Dynamic Speeds, Blastoise will again get the Water Spout off. The problem is if Blastoise goes down, it's kind of hard to activate my Weakness Policy onto Coalossal. I think I'm still going to bring it. I'll go Coalossal Passimian here. The only downside when I go with this combination is, as we saw in the last game, like, by setting up Rain, Aqua Jet obviously does more damage to my Coalossal, but Coalossal is tanky enough that it can, you know, take a fair amount of damage once Dynamaxed. So, maybe this isn't the most flexible lead. I think maybe just going Blastoise Coalossal can be a little bit more consistent. Let's see what comes out. Okay. Togekiss Rotom. Is this good? Is this bad? What is this? I think we're just gonna go Tailwind Water Spout turn 1. My problem is... I think we Dynamax Passimian, actually, yeah. I think we Tailwind, we Water Spout, and then we try to sweep through with Passimian. I don't know if Water Spout in Rain with our item knocks out Togekiss. I feel like Togekiss probably hangs on if it doesn't Dynamax with about like 25%-ish or so. But it depends on how it's trained. I expect Rotom to Dynamax here, but I guess you could Dynamax Togekiss and start going for some max Airstreams. But I actually wouldn't mind if Togekiss Dynamaxed, I guess. Do I? It is going to be Rotom Dynamaxing, okay, yeah. So the main thing that we're trying to play for is stalling out our opponent's Dynamax advantage. So, want to play around that. See what, I mean, yeah, you probably, just like Dazzling Gleam, Max Lightning? Alright, let's see how much Water Spout does to Togekiss. Yeah, kind of around how much I predicted. There's Max Lightning. Yeah, it's going to go into Blastoise. That will get the KO. This puts us in kind of an awkward spot because, like, I don't want to Dynamax Coalossal, right? So I think I have to bring out Passimian. I assume just Dazzling Gleam here. Maybe Air Slash. There's actually the Life Orb Rotom, which is good information. If this is crit Togekiss, it might just KO us here. Okay. Yeah, we definitely bring out Passimian. I think we have to Dynamax it. Because, like I said, our Rotom matchup was kind of shaky to begin with. So I think we go out into Coalossal here. We Dynamax the Passimian. And we go for Max Steel Spike to knock out the Togekiss. This was a tricky matchup to begin with, and I think Togekiss Rotom was a really good lead by my opponent as well. I think the only thing that really maybe gives that trouble is if I bring the Hatterene, but I didn't really like Hatterene too much in any preview. The other problem is that Hatterene still doesn't do very much damage to my opponent, especially once you Dynamax the Rotom. Even like G-Max Might probably does like, what, 40-50% to the Togekiss, so then we're like hoping that we get some confusion rolls. Whereas at least Passimian can distribute some pretty consistent damage. If I went Blastoise Coalossal, the problem is like I probably just faint to a Max Geyser, right? Especially from Life Orb Rotom. Like, I don't know that calc, but I would assume so. Good Togekiss switch out. That's a very good switch out. What's coming in? Braviary. Okay. That's not terrible for us. The problem is Coalossal under Tailwind is still Coalossal under Tailwind, which means it's not very speedy. But this isn't terrible. I mean, the question now is how much Rotom does, I guess, to Passimian damage-wise. Like, a Max Geyser might still just two-shot us with Rain and Life Orb, even though we're self-vested, which would definitely be very sad. But it is a big deal that Rotom is not Citrus Berried, because it means it's a little bit easier to KO, at least. So we'll get a Steel Spike off. That almost actually just knocks out Braviary. Wow. It's impressive. Oh, that was a crit. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Upside is, it is the last turn of Dynamax from my opponent's end. I'm hoping this is Max Lightning into... Okay, Coalossal. That's actually really good. Because Coalossal is pretty useless for us at this point, or pretty, anyway. Okay, that's good. I think the play is definitely Max Knuckle into Braviary. Probably just Rock Slide. Yeah. Unfortunately, Max Knuckle is not PP'd up, which actually might pose a problem. We'll see. We get the defense boost. That doesn't obviously help out very much against Rotom, but... Yeah, I'm very glad that Passimian did not get targeted down here, because I think Passimian is the win con against our opponent's team at this point, especially after we get a potential boost. We also have Feint, so we can potentially Max Strike to lower our opponent's speed after Tailwind is over. But right now I want the attack boost so that I threaten Rotom with the Max Knuckle the following turn, because Dynamax will end after this turn. So Max Knuckle will knock out the Braviary. I don't think that crit ended up mattering, because I think Max Knuckle was picking up that knockout anyway, but it was a good switch to begin with. But I felt like I had to go for the Max Steel Spike there into Togekiss. So Rotom should outspeed. Yeah. It's just a third Max Lightning, actually. Into Coalossal. Okay. Interesting that my opponent is not prioritizing Passimian here. I didn't really think Coalossal was going to do much for me at this point. So I guess I'll take that. The problem is I only have one turn of Dynamax left on Passimian. My opponent still has 3 Pokemon, and Rotom's Dynamax is going to end here. With Choice Scarf, I obviously have to lock myself into attack, but the best case scenario is if my opponent just brings out Togekiss here, because then I can just pick up a double knockout with Scarf Pelipper. And it is going to be Togekiss coming out. I think that's actually maybe good for us, unless Togekiss is Protect. So the main thing is that Dynamax ends from Rotom. I guess the question is, does a Max Knuckle knock out Rotom from the range it's in? Normally with Life Orb, you're running like max special attack and speed. There's still 2 turns of Rain and 1 turn of Tailwind from our end. Before I Scald, let's see who's potentially in the back. Scald is the move, yeah. I mean, actually, Hurricane could be worthwhile, but I don't know if it knocks out the Togekiss. So I think we Scald. Max Strike is actually really compelling, because I could see Rotom protecting, and if we lower its speed, then we can outspeed it with Passimian the next turn. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to Max Strike the Rotom, expecting the Protect. Nice. I guess we could have just gone for another attack boost. Maybe that would have been fine too. Huh. Follow me Protect. That's interesting. I guess that redirects a potential fighting type attack away, and if Passimian is faster than Pelipper, that would make sense. Okay, we knock out, and we get the speed decrease onto Rotom. That's really good. I'm hoping Passimian can just close out this game. Let's see how much Max Strike does at +1 attack. Not very much damage, but more importantly, we're going to lower that thing's speed. So let's see, I mean, what can be in the back? Serena, Excadrill. Those are the 2 that I remember, so those are a surprise member that I'm forgetting right now. It is Excadrill, that's perfect. That's really perfect, actually. With Excadrill out, I mean, we've got Feint. I guess the one thing I'm worried about is if it's Assault Vest Excadrill, but I think we definitely Scald here. That's the problem, I guess. We have Close Combat. I think Scald Close Combat here is fine, though, right? Especially after the speed decrease onto the Rotom. Like, if it's not AV, we might just KO. If it's Sashed, then we'll bring it down to Sash and can knock it out with Feint. I wanted to go for Feint and Scald on Excadrill, but that's a losing play if it's Assault Vest Excadrill, because then we don't get the KO, and then you get to attack with both Rotom and Excadrill. Here, basically, we're going for a knockout onto something. The problem is if you go for Rock Slide with Excadrill and you flinch the Passimian. He is Sashed, yeah, so we could have gone for Feint Scald, but without knowing the item, I don't think that was worth the risk. Oh, we actually get a burn, though, so nice. That's huge. He is going for Rock Slide. I think that should seal us the game, then. Yeah, that burn definitely seals us the game. Let's see if we flinch. We don't flinch anyway, so we were good. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go. So we already Dynamaxed 4 of the Pokemon on this team, and I think Pelipper probably doesn't Dynamax as often just because it's not the best candidate. But, yeah, I mean, in that late game, like, Feint Scald is a good play, especially if I know it's Focus Sash, because then there's no way around. But with the Assault Vest, once again, like, imagine I don't KO that, your Rock Slide, and I don't get the burn. Rock Slide then just knocks out the Pelipper, and then you get a big attack off against Passimian as well, and then you can Iron Head like Thunderbolt or Hydro Pump next turn. Of course, you still need to flinch with Rock Slide. If you don't flinch, then you just lose. Oh, sorry. Yeah, by going for Feint Scald, then I'm obviously not targeting down the Rotom. So I think Scald Close Combat there was relatively safe. If I get the burn, the game is instantly over. Yeah, even if I get flinched there with the Assault Vest, I think I was fine against the Rotom. I guess then it would have been Excadrill and Rotom against Passimian, and I have to decrease my defense. So then the question is, can I take another Iron Head? Like, can I take Rock Slide, which obviously doesn't do very much, plus an Iron Head or High Horsepower from Excadrill, plus a Hydro Pump from Rotom? Yeah. Because then I can Feint the Excadrill next turn. Either way, though, I think that game highlighted why I needed to Dynamax Passimian. Like, I don't think any other Pokemon would have really provided that much utility. I mean, Coalossal's not bad, but the problem with G-Maxing Coalossal there is that with Life Orb Rotom, I think like Max Geyser might just KO us. And if it does, then even if we... Like, it would all be for nothing, basically. We get the weakness policy combo off and then pull nothing off afterwards. Okay, pretty standard stuff here for my opponent's team. Who do I want to Dynamax in this game? I guess we shouldn't... It's more about who I want to bring, first of all. But, like, Coalossal is actually a really good candidate to Dynamax, I think. My Lodic is actually really scary. Once again, as you can see, these bulky water types are concerned. Actually, I think Passimian is probably the right choice to Dynamax. Has a phenomenal matchup into Arcanine, Tyranitar, and Excadrill, and Dragapult can't go for max Wormwinds or max Phantasms without giving us the Defiant boost. So, I think this is definitely a Passimian game. As much as I would like to sweep with Coalossal. Trick Room is actually an interesting approach in this match, too. Like, Passimian can actually maybe put in a lot of work under Trick Room, which is interesting to say. I kind of want to lead Passimian. Like, Passimian Raichu with Pelipper and Blastoise in the back. I think Coalossal is not that great in this matchup. Like, I have to deal with the Milotic. I guess if he gets the boost, it can outspeed things. In a best of 3, I would definitely still consider bringing Coalossal, but not in a best of 1. Hatterene here, I'm not too comfortable with. Especially because there is the Corviknight, and I think whatever I Dynamax needs to be able to have a decent matchup against Corviknight, and Hatterene cannot touch it with Max Fairy or Max Grass. So we're going to avoid that. I think, yeah, Hatterene probably doesn't Dynamax most of the time with this team, but you can, especially against like certain Trick Room matchups, where you can just spread confusion and stall out their Trick Room, and reverse their Trick Room with your own Trick Room. It is Tyranitar Milotic, okay. Yeah, this isn't bad. This is not bad. I mean, Passimian's in a great spot right now. Which is why I kind of prioritized it so much to begin with. I think I'm just going to Dynamax and start Knuckling. Like, I want to Knuckle and fake out the Milotic. Because I don't think Tyranitar really scares me that much. You could Rockfall into Raichu, I guess. Who do I have in the back? Blastoise and Pelipper? Yeah, Milodic's definitely the bigger threat, I would say. So I'm going to Dynamax, Max Knuckle. And honestly, just Thunderbolt it. Yeah, I don't even... the Fake Out's better to avoid a Scald Burn, I guess. But he's going to switch out into Dragapult. Oh, that's a really good switch. I should have Nuzzled to cover for that option. Yeah. I didn't make the best play turn 1. Like, Nuzzle was better because if we get a Paralysis onto Dragapult, it's huge. So I got a little greedy there. Especially with such a good lead, basically what you don't want to do is what I did, which was throw away your lead. So you want to make a play that covers for all your options, and in this case, I just did not cover for the Dragapult switch in. So that was a really good turn by my opponent. Let's see if Tyranitar protects or Max Dynamaxes. Okay, it is going to Dynamax. Okay. What do I want to do next turn? We're going to get a little bit of chip damage off, which is good, but the key thing to consider is how do we play this. Like, you know, I'm thinking like turns ahead right now, and I mean, if Raichu goes down, we do get a free switch in into Pelipper, and then we can Tailwind, which honestly isn't the end of the world. See how much Thunderbolt does to Dragapult. Not bad, honestly. Para? No. Okay, yeah. He's gonna go for a Max Knuckle, actually. Okay, makes sense. Into maybe my Passimian? Into Raichu, okay. I want to Steel Spike this next turn. Yeah, I want to Steel Spike into the Dragapult. I could see that Phantom Forcing. I'm going to Steel Spike it. And I think I'm actually going to Nuzzle the Tyranitar. While decreasing its speed doesn't really matter, it's more about just having a single Para chance. He's actually got Dragon Darts. That's cool. Not that that's like super surprising, but I feel like a lot of Dragapults have not, like, opted to not use that anymore. That actually does so much damage, wow. Yeah, Life Orb Dragapult. It's really strong. Really nice play turn 1 by my opponent. I messed up big time by not going for Nuzzle. Risk versus reward wise, like, it just doesn't make much sense to go for a Thunderbolt there when I have such a good lead. So, yeah. Always remember to check what your opponent has in the back and keep that in mind. Wait, that did, like, no damage. Like, I know I have the defense boost, but still, wow. That did no damage. Okay, I think we bring out Blastoise here. I mean, if we bring out Pelipper, we do threaten the Tyranitar with Scald max fighting, right? Yeah. Okay, I actually don't mind that. Corviknight. That's a very good Pokemon to bring out. But I think maybe with Blastoise and Pelipper, we're actually not in a bad position. So we'll change the weather. This next turn is a really big turn, though, because the question is, what do I predict here? I'm also worried about Corviknight actually having Tailwind. If it does, then we're done for. Because what I want to do is Max Knuckle Scald Tyranitar. I think I'm going to click Tailwind, actually, with Pelipper. I'm actually thinking about Tailwind and Max Darkness. You might be asking why, but it sets up for the Blastoise in the back. Or maybe just Max Knuckle here is fine. I'm going to read the Tyranitar Protect here. Ah, he doesn't Max Guard. Okay. That might just be game then. It'll be close. Maybe that was too risky. We do have +1 defense, though, onto Passimian. So I think we should take a Brave Bird here. So if you're going for, like, Max Rockfall and Brave Bird, we should survive on Passimian. There's Brave Bird, yep. Yeah, Passimian takes that. The problem here is if I double up into Tyranitar, my opponent actually does have the Rockfall into Pelipper, okay. Alright, we're not out of it. Yeah, the problem is basically if I double up into Pelipper, because I could have so easily gone for Max Knuckle and Scald. Maybe Max Knuckle itself actually would have just gotten the knockout. I'm not sure about that. I could have gone for Max Knuckle or Scald, but the problem with that is if Tyranitar protects, then you can, and you have Tailwind on Corviknight, then I just lose afterwards. Because then Tyranitar just outspeeds us. Whereas with the play I made, at least I still have options even after that turn. I wonder if Water Spout knocks out the Corviknight. I don't think it does. Not without Rain. So I need to make a read here on who I think is protecting. I believe Passimian is faster here. We need Passimian alive. I think I'm gonna... Water Spout will activate Weakness Policy, though. I want to read Tyranitar protecting now. Tough call. He's got a fighting type attack, so he can definitely deal with me. I'm going to target it down. I guess single... I don't know if single target Water Spout knocks out Corviknight. Yeah, and it protects this time. Okay, that's frustrating. We would have won the game if we targeted Corviknight, but I didn't go with my gut there. I guess we have to target Corviknight, because... what I was thinking was if Close Combat just knocks out Tyranitar, then Water Spout becomes single target. I mean, maybe Water Spout KOs here, but I really doubt it. How specially defensive are you? Oh, it KOs! Nice. Oh my... This Blastoise is so sick. Okay. We're not out of it yet, though. Because the problem is still there's Milotic, right? And with Milotic, the question is, do you have Protect? We have +1 Close Combat. +1 Defense. Tailwind is up. Use that +2 attack. Like, I don't think I can beat Milotic unless I Close Combat it here. That's my problem. Because if I Close Combat Tyranitar, Milotic will just knock out Passimian, and I don't think Blastoise wins 1v1, so... My only way to win here... if Milotic protects, though, and I knock out Tyranitar, I win. But yeah, that's the question. Does Milotic protect? I'm going to target Milotic here, and Water Spout. No Protect! Okay, let's see. Does Close Combat +1 attack get the knockout? It does! Okay. Okay. That was a crit. That might... I think that probably mattered. Comes down to the item on Milotic, because I think Close Combat probably does 80%-ish or so, even if you're, like, super invested, and then I would think Blastoise finishes you off. But if Tyranitar clicks Rock Slide right now, you still win. You can still get a double KO. Yeah. Maybe I needed to protect Blastoise then there, actually. Oh, but he went for Superpower. Okay, yeah. Into Passimian. I figured he would go for that, but... This was a really, really good game. I didn't play, I feel like, super well, but I think this episode highlights the value of Passimian. And Blastoise, actually. I mean, Blastoise Water Spout boosted at full HP just does so much damage. So, just go for another one here. And, yeah, Tyranitar ended up getting the +4 attack, but we're good. Wow, that was a doozy. I'm trying to think where I could have played better in this game. The big turn, I mean, was... Yeah, the Tyranitar protecting actually didn't end up mattering because Water Spout knocked out the Corviknight anyway. Oh god, how fast is Tyranitar here relative to us? Does it outspeed us? We're 109, 101. I really don't know how fast this Tyranitar is. I mean, we don't have much speed investment, I think, right? Maybe Aqua Jet just KOs. Is there a reason to go for anything else? This, I might have choked this. I'm clicking Aqua Jet because I think it KOs, but... Oh, he's going for a double protect. What? Okay, well, then it ended up not even mattering. Let's see if this was going to KO. Okay, that was going to KO. Nice. I mean, yeah, the main thing here is that the Blastoise does not have much speed investment. And I was worried that maybe Tyranitar, if it's pretty speedy, actually outspeeds us. Yeah, like, it only has a couple of EVs. So I guess we can actually see here. So, that's cool. Oh, Tyranitar wasn't outspeeding us, so we actually should have just gone for, I don't know why he went for the double protect there. Like, stalling out for Sand doesn't make much sense. But theoretically, I just want to double check in that if Tyranitar does have max, like, speed investment, it can outspeed us, because then that'll make me feel better about... Like, once again, I'm not 100% familiar with my Blastoise speed tiers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you have, like... Yeah, even if you're admin max speed will outspeed Blastoise from the range we're at. So I think Aqua Jet's better just to cover for the option. I mean, it got the knockout anyway. I wasn't sure on that calc, but with the Mystic Water, I figured we were probably good, given that it was at like 5-10%-ish or so. But yeah, I got a couple of nice wins today, and Passimian really proves its worth. So glad to be able to feature that after we didn't really use it in that very first episode with this team, which was, of course, yesterday. So thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you enjoyed, please share support by leaving a like. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. Let me know what your favorite Gmax Pokemon is in VGC 2020, and I will see you guys soon. Of course, this is a rental team as well, so thank you to the creator, and feel free to try it out yourself. The rental code is in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you tomorrow. All right, peace.